Hey everybody, it's me Josh with H.O.P.E, and today I'm releasing that session that I did about 9 days ago on February 13th, 2026 regarding Nancy Guthrie. And before you watch it, I should say, please let me explain a couple things because I think that the context will help. Now, on the 10th of February, I, in meditation, asked about her, and I got that she was still alive. And then 3 days later, I felt the need to ask. Now, I had always been hesitant to ask about this case for whatever reason. I do not know. I've asked for Summer Wells, I've asked for Sebastian Rogers, Elijah Vu, Madeleine McCann. And in those cases, as a medium, I felt that I was getting information intuitively that they were deceased. And then when I did the sessions, I did get responses indicating that they were, in fact, deceased. Now, I have worked with law enforcement in the past. It's a very tough and kind of arduous process, but we did get information in the cold case that I was working on that was very relevant. But it did seem like the person did not want to name who their assailant, who their murderer was. And why would that be the case? I don't know. I can only speculate that maybe the person was past that point and did not want to discuss it anymore, that they didn't feel the value in it. But they did give us information. Recently, a woman asked for her loved one, a friend of hers that went missing, and I did get a very clear name. This person said it was so-and-so. So when I showed that clip to that person, they said, yes, that's the name of the person that was a suspect in the case and is no longer being looked at as a suspect. Now, I told her, take that information back to the authorities and see if they're willing to look at this person again. In this situation with Nancy Guthrie, I asked for my guides to give me some information, which they did. It was limited, but they did. And then I asked for Nancy, not knowing if she was deceased. And I did get a few pieces of information that I thought would be helpful. And this is why I turned that information into the Pima County Sheriffs and the FBI. I don't know if it's accurate. I don't know if the person that is being named, it's only a first name, is someone directly involved or indirectly involved. I do not know. Some of these answers are kind of cryptic, and yet some of them are very direct. So I figured it was time now to share it with all of you, and you guys can make the determination. Is it possible that Nancy's still alive? Of course it is. I am not 100% convinced that she isn't, but we did get responses. I don't think they were an imposter. I have asked for people in the past, people that were close to me, that were in comas. They were unconscious, but they were still alive. And I asked for them through the box, and I did get responses that I believe it was them. So, is that possible here? Sure, anything's possible. It's important that you understand that I don't claim to know all the answers. I don't pretend that, I have it all figured out and how this process works, I have my ideas, I have my theories, I have things that I know work, but I'm still learning with all of you. And I've just been kind of, whether you want to say brave enough or stupid enough to share it with the public, I've been doing that. And that's what I've been doing for 14 years. So I know the naysayers and the skeptics are always looking for something to try to discredit. And mediums are not always right. We're not always right. I do, out of 10 sessions that I do, 10 readings, I should say, without the box, 8 out of 10 I'm able to connect very well and very accurately, but 2 out of 10, I can be off and my connection is off. And the skeptics will forget the 8 out of 10, they'll ignore those and they'll say, oh, you see, he was wrong and so he's fake. And that's not the case. That's actually very dishonest of them, but they don't care. But I figured it was time to share this session. You guys can make your own determination whether you thought it was Nancy coming through. Hopefully there's some closure to this, but there are a lot of missing people out there, and I've tried to ask for many in the past. If nothing else, hopefully just giving them a chance to speak up themselves, give them a voice back, and that's what I've done. So this is what I've got. You make the determination. And again, I say thank you to all of you that do support this work. I love you all. Here is the session. So I'm asking for one of my male guides because I put on a male voice If any of you guys can help shed some light, if you guys know anything about this case regarding Nancy Guthrie, is there any information that you guys can tell us about, who took her, or if we're supposed to know this, or if there's any information you guys can give? Did this have something to do with the family? Is there someone, like an inside job, that had to do with Nancy's abduction? Yes. Sounds like yes. That's interesting. Do you think there's a chance that she will be found, whether it's dead or alive? Do you think that she, will be found? Are any of these, I don't know if you know this, but are any of these psychics or mediums that are doing these sessions on them, are they getting any of this information correct? Something careful. So I'm inviting Nancy Guthrie to please come through. So Nancy Guthrie. Nancy Guthrie. Are you okay? Nancy, I don't know if we're making a connection. I'm kind of just going on trusting the process here. And I got that you were alive the other day. I am not convinced that you are deceased. And I see a lot of other people asking about you and for you and all this other stuff. And I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to think. But is there anything that you can tell us, Nancy, about what has happened to you? Do you have any message to Savannah or to your family? Miss you. I heard miss you. I'm hearing a few things that kind of sound like they could be her. Is there anything that you can share that that can help in solving this case? Something asked me that. I don't know. I was working with a police department on a cold case, so if there is information that's viable, I can get it to the authorities. I definitely can do that. I would love to be able to help. I just kind of have been a little hesitant, and I don't know why. I don't know. If you're on the other side, I have to trust that you are okay. But I'm sure that you would want your family, you'd want Savannah to know that you are there and that you are okay. So, any final message tonight? All right. Well, regardless of where you are, I'm sending you love, and I pray that there's a resolution to this, hopefully one with a happy ending. I don't know that is going to be the case at this point, but at least closure for your family, okay?